the question to you about this. I know that you have, you've mentioned to me that there's nothing like doing business with people over a cup of coffee or a glass of wine, better still. How do you feel that marketing has changed during this period and will continue to change?
Well, hello everyone. Can you hear me?
We can, yes.
Because I had about half an hour's problem with my microphone, so that's good. Good morning everyone, and it's fantastic to be here, and thank you for inviting me, Lorna. I'd say at a macro level, when this pandemic hit us, media budgets were slashed and ad spend went down something like $26 billion. So that was quite a significant impact. But, it's very much compared to the 2008 crash, and people were sort of trying to look at what they were doing. But I think they very quickly recalibrated what they were doing, and they were very fast to move back into ad spends, because I think people look at what their competitors are doing. Perhaps they should be looking more at the clients, but I think people do also really watch their competitors. So I think this came back around about sort of May, and so people started spending more. Yes, of course, you have to be where your audience is. So those spends moved very much, into the social media space and online. Yes, of course, we've all adapted to Zoom, Teams, Google Meet, and, even I was invited at midnight once by someone on a WhatsApp Superyacht group to a party in the Remo Lounge, and I had to put on my makeup, and someone said, I've got to introduce you to someone, meet us on table 4. And, that sort of thing I would not have done before, I think, but I sort of stepped up to it because, the opportunity was there. So I think we're embracing what we can. We've embraced the webinar. They're sort of generally free and easy to produce. I think these things are all so much easier where we've known each other, in the real world. I mean, Lorna, we met, in Vancouver, for instance, and, where you've had a personal relationship with someone, you've done a lot of networking, you've been out there, the people. I think that's a lot easier, but it doesn't mean that you can't do it, without those things in place. I think things are getting a lot less formal. I've seen a lot less formality. I think, when we have our Zoom calls, people are much more casually dressed. I can see this in the media tone, in the way that, Instagram and other things are used. We're all using emojis and shortening everything. That could be good or bad, but there's a lot more sort of casual approach, but professional, but a lot more humanity. And I think it's brought everyone together in terms of sort of trying to, overcome the difficulties that we've had. Whether it's permanent, I think this has forced a trend on us. I think we should also realize that this is probably not going to be the last pandemic. I mean, this is going to be the future. And, even if we do get an effective vaccination, what's going to be the next thing that's going to hit us? So I think the fact that we've all adapted very fast is good, and we probably wouldn't have done it if we'd been given warning. And I think if you'd said to half the offices, you're going to be working from home in 1 week's time, no one would have done it. But, they have adapted. But I think we have to really look to the future as being one fraught with difficulties.
Yeah, it's interesting what you say about people sort of becoming a bit more casual, maybe in their appearance on Zoom calls and so on. And I was speculating with somebody earlier that maybe there's a market for a fashion designer to come up with Zoom friendly clothing, that's sort of smart on top, but sort of smart casual at the bottom end, just in case you have to stand up during a call. So anyway, Patrick,